forget. And she's like, she knows she's on it.
I don't remember if one of our first slides. Escaping. This meeting is being recorded.
You would have had your reminder right there.
Right there, yeah. That would have reminded us to start it. And of course, if you don't want to participate in the live recorded session, you can watch the recording later. And you can send any questions our way.
Yeah, and we're definitely not recording to share information with anyone or anything like that. It's more for record and for anyone to watch later. So no worries there about anything we discuss on these meetings.
Anything you want to add, Julie, before I pop to whatever's next?
No, this is your show. I'm just here. I'm the program manager for Workfront User Groups at Adobe. So, but I'm going to be in the background, and Heather and Brittany are your fearless leaders.
Yeah, and Heather and I will do introductions in a moment too, but we're going to kick off a big round of introductions. So we're going to get through some of the less exciting stuff first. So don't worry, we're not just going to talk at you and not explain anything. Just some house rules. This is a safe space. This is all about the users, and it's users of every level. You don't have to be an admin. You don't have to be a power user. You can be brand new. You can be in Workfront for an eternity like some of us have. This is for everyone to share ideas, to learn from each other, and to grow our knowledge in Workfront, really. So to keep that safe space, we don't have any kind of self-promotion, pitching, sales, anything. Even if we have partners from Adobe come talk to us or anything like that about certain topics, there's no sales or anything, so no pressure there. Don't contact people directly without their consent. And then if somebody's sharing a use case at a meeting, make sure that if you're going to share that information or do anything with it, that you do get that person's permission. Any questions on any of that? All right.
Next up is staying connected with the chapter. You can navigate to the link there. Julie, did these slides get passed along with the recording afterwards, or?
No, it's just part of the recording.
We'll figure out where a good place might be to keep that link. But you can join the chapter there, and then once you've joined, you'll automatically get any notifications for new events. Of course, if you don't join, you don't get the notifications for the new events. So join if you haven't already. I suspect most people probably have already, or they wouldn't be here. Champion program.
Yeah, Julie, could you help give some background on, what the Champion program is for this year?
Absolutely. It's very exciting for Workfront because this is our inaugural program. A few of our other products have had a Champion program for years. It's like a class for a one-year program that changes every year. There's 40 champions that are chosen per solution program. It's kind of like the elite of the elite, and anyone can apply. We do look for, a lot of experience using Workfront and a history of being passionate and being an advocate for the product and helping others learn. And so you get a lot of perks. I won't go into it, but there is that more info link is a great blog on our Experience Lead Perspectives area where you can learn more about what it's like to be a champion, and don't be afraid to apply. The application is open, and sorry, the slide isn't updated with that link. I apologize, but on that Perspectives blog, it will have a way for you to go to the actual Workfront application to complete it, and applications close on June 10th. So take a look. It's a great program, and it's great for your career too. So, and I'll put my email address in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.
Do you get swag?
She says with her Workfront pillow in the background.
I'm a big fan of my swag.
I still have my backpack from Leap back in like, gosh, I don't even want to know how many years ago when it was in Nashville, but it's funny.
Skills exchange is coming up. August, 2 different tracks. Oh, I guess we talk about the Marketo
Yes,
track
it
probably.
is wet.
Maybe somebody does. I don't know. Workfront's the Thursday, August 31st. I don't think I attended the skills things last year, but in the times I've had, they've been super helpful. There's been a lot of good information. I haven't.
Yeah,
checked them out.
I think I was on for the one 2 years ago, but I don't believe I got to. There were some conflicts past year, but and Julie, is there any additional like insight you can give us on anything going on with the skill exchange stuff for this year?
Well, if you haven't heard of Skill Exchange, it's kind of a brand that's growing, but it's the events that we put on that are learning events. It's not webinars to try to get you to buy products. It's, hey, you're already using a product and you want to get better at it. And many of the tracks have a customer leading it, people like you, not Adobe people. There will be some in our Learn track. Learn is for beginners and Grow is for more experienced Workfront users. I'm personally leading the Learn track. I think we have a great lineup of sessions. The registration page will open, I think it's July 7th. So there will be a lot of promotion about it, especially posts on the Experience League Workfront community page. So keep your eye out. And I just put my email in the chat. If you feel like, hey, it's past July 1st and I haven't seen this, or past July 7th, feel free to reach out to me. It's a great program to learn from. So thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Yeah, I know I attended the Grow track back when I did it, and it was nice because I think I just booked a room. Ashley, I think you were on that too. Like we booked a room and we were listening and watching things, and then between handling some work that was urgent. So it's nice because you can get to things while you're also still handling some other stuff. So it's really helpful.
And are those recorded so you can watch them later? I can't remember.
Yes, yeah, and posted on Experience League.
Nice. So if you miss them, you can still see them.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And I'll just one more add. The in-person skill exchange usually happens at Summit, which we just had in March. This one in August is virtual. The skill exchanges at Summit get some of the highest attendance out of any Summit sessions. People just like it because it's really focused on learning. So just a plug for that.
Those are some of my favorite things from Leap, was those learning sessions.
Yeah.
This was our agenda. I think we're on track.
Yeah, look at us. We're getting there. So everyone, this is where, like I was saying earlier, some of you might have hopped on afterwards, but because this is our intro session, we weren't trying to come to the first one with like a big topic or, a presenter or anything just yet. We want this first session to be about all of you and making sure that we learn what will truly help you grow and things that you might need to troubleshoot or learn from, or topics you want to explore more. So this is all going to be about us just getting to know each other quickly and discussing some logistics, like if we do in person, where are you at? Things like that. And then from that point on, you're also going to get a survey after this that's going to have a little bit more in-depth questions. It's still pretty short, but it'll be going into some more like, do you have any things that you frequently troubleshoot that you'd like some advice on? Are there best practices that you'd like to know? Are there, say you want to know more about the calendar tool, we can work with trying to get someone to give us more info on that. But it's going to really gather up all the points we have that will help make this year really good for everybody and help drive what's in these sessions. It's a big group of us all collaborating. So having said that, we'll open this up to everybody. And like I said, Heather and I need to properly introduce ourselves because we were so eager. We just kind of jumped into it and had a few tech issues. So I'm Brittany Lang. I have been in Workfront since 2015. So it's year 10. Not full-time admin the entire time. There were a few, different roles and things I did, but very long time with a lot of background in Workfront. I currently work for Thermo Fisher Scientific. We have like 8 Workfront instances, I think, at this point. So we have a lot of people in the system, and it's really exciting. But I'm a senior systems specialist. I specialize in Workfront, fusion consulting, building anything you can think of, all the troubleshooting and things like that. And we're gonna go kind of in that cadence. Who are you? Where are you from? What's your role? And then we didn't really bullet point this, but if you can give a little background too on, your interaction with Workfront, like how long have you been in the system? How do you, like I said, we want to understand if we have a lot of power users, we have brand new people, we want to make sure everybody's included. And then we're going to ask like one thing you love about Workfront. So I know that's kind of hard to narrow down to one thing. But I think for me, what I love about Workfront is that you can do so many things with it to just help make everybody's lives easier. Thinking about work having a good project management system, can be very cumbersome, and there's so many pieces and parts just moving everywhere. And I feel like Workfront brings everything together and everyone together, and it just cuts a lot of busy work and back and forth and so many things that take up time from our day. It is cut out by Workfront, and it enables us to do a better job and have a lot of fun too. So that's my one thing about Workfront. Heather?
Sure. I'm Heather Kolbacki. I'm with Avalar Health. I was with Thermo Fisher. Started in Workfront in late 2016 and then became full-time admin in late 2017. I'm fully remote. My company's headquarters is in the UK. Hoping to visit headquarters one of these days, but
yes,
just find that in every day. Workfront administrator, obviously. I forget where I was going to go next. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I think I think some of the things I love are the updates page. Everything you need to tell somebody can all be right there, where if someone else is covering for you, they can see it. Constantly trying to convince people that just put all your notes there. If you reject a request, say why you're rejecting it. But those updates are a great place.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I can go. I'm Ashley Peterson. I work for Thermo Fisher Scientific. I actually work very closely with Brittany.
She's sitting across from me.
Right
High five.
I've been in Workfront I wasn't sure, Heather, until you reminded me. It was 2016, so thank you for that. I started, with Heather and I both were in Workfront together when we adopted. But at that time I was a project manager, so I've been a user as a project manager for a few years, and then maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, I switched roles and am now a senior marketing workflow analyst. So also an admin in the system, but a lot of my role is focused on processes and workflows and things like that. So I do a lot of things in Workfront around project intake and project templates and anywhere where workflow and system kind of meet. So Brittany and I work very closely together in that capacity. One thing I love about Workfront, I think I love the fact that it's a source of truth. Like when I love solving mysteries. And so if we're trying to figure out why something went wrong or, what happened or how things fell apart, all of the information that we need, if you dig far enough or if you look for it, it's in Workfront. It's our source of truth. It's where we can kind of figure out, where a root cause might be and, where those problems stem from. So I love that all of that data is there and that we can figure out, what happens, with that source of truth in the system. So, but I'm excited. Nice to meet you all.
I can jump in, actually. I also used to work at Thermo. So
Really?
I've heard about you, Emily, but you were before my time. Great things.
I was there. Heather was still there at the time before Brittany was there, and Ashley. So Emily Summerholder, I now work at Highmark. I have been so my role, I'm on the operations and technology team. I am an operations analyst and have been the Workfront admin for like 3.5 years now, but obviously worked in Workfront at Thermo for 3-ish years before that, I guess, maybe. So different sides of the Workfront experience for sure. It's been very interesting becoming an admin, and I will say Highmark's Workfront instance is not nearly as well run as Thermo. So it's been a very interesting experience trying to get things to line up properly. I'll say one thing I like about Workfront, I actually really like something that we're looking to implement right now for my team specifically, our scorecards. So I'll use that as something that I really like. It's really going to help us with prioritization. I recently got moved to a new team, and the team is new itself. So we get a lot of work coming in right now. So it'd be really nice to actually prioritize that for ourselves, not just our end users.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
Happy
If not,
to
I'll
jump in. Hello, I'm Eric Miller. I am over here at Dick's Sporting Goods. I am the Workfront God or Guru or
He
System
is.
Admin, whatever title you want to use. I've been using it for about 7 years now, and been using Fusion. I'll throw that in there as well for about 5. And I would say that my favorite thing about Workfront is the reporting. I am a sucker for efficiency, and I feel like being able to look backwards on how things were working is the best way to plan forward on how to work better. So I feel the robust reporting is right up my alley, and I always love new challenges from users looking to find certain insights into their data in the system.
All right.
Brittany, I
Thanks,
see
Eric.
Megan posted she doesn't have a mic icon to enable. I think you made the rest
Oh,
of
you
it.
probably jumped on after I went through all the
Yeah.
toggles. You should be good now, Megan.
I couldn't
Sorry
find
about
it.
Yep, sorry. I'm home with a sick kiddo today, so I was a few minutes late. Well, since I'm already talking, you want me to go next?
Yeah, for it. And I hope your kid gets better soon.
Yeah, thank you. Me too. I am a little bit of a spy. My name's Megan Lehman, and I'm a Workfront admin for SS&C Technologies, and I'm actually one of the leaders of the Central WUG that's getting ready to have their
nice.
first meeting in a couple of weeks. And I haven't been able to catch anyone else's first meet and greet, so I thought I would like hop in here and kind of see what you guys got going on. So yeah, that's me. So my role, I'm Workfront admin. Not sure if I said that already or not. And one thing I love about Workfront, that's really hard. I really love personally being able to figure out like text mode for something complex or a fusion scenario. Things like that really like give me a lot of purpose and make me feel good. We just got planning recently, and so I'm super excited to start using that too.
Well, we're happy to have you here. We don't mind spies at all.
Thank you.
Maybe as we get into this more, we can put our heads together, and we'll see you in the Slack channel for the
Yeah,
leaders.
for
That's
sure.
awesome. That's the best way for us to make it good for everyone, right? Is collaborate. So happy to
Yeah,
have you
I
here.
appreciate you guys letting me in here. And if anyone knows anyone that uses Workfront from the central region of the US, send them my way.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks.
I can go next. Justin Van Estenberg. I'm with UPMC Health Plan. I'm the Director of Marketing, Technology, and Operations. I've been using Workfront for the last 3.5 years. And we are currently in an expansion project, so we're bringing on our health systems side of UPMC into Workfront. So undergoing that project now. Actually exploring Fusion a lot more. We've only dipped our toes in it over last year, but now we're starting to get heavy into it. Actually have some consulting hours working with them to get training and just become experts in it really, because we need it desperately. So that's definitely something that I like about it. But I also like about just overall configurability of it. There's a lot of flexibility and customization you can do around Workfront for all kinds of different workflows. And then the other component that we're rolling out is the new data connect to the Snowflake backend, so we can do more robust reporting.
Nice.
That's awesome. You guys are really getting all the pieces and parts, huh?
Yes.
Fusion, I'm sure you will hear many of us say, like, I'm obsessed with Fusion. It's just so helpful. So anybody ever want to nerd out over Fusion, like, hit me up anytime. I love Fusion. But all right, who's next?
I can go. I'm Barb Pilarski. I'm with RKD Group. They are headquartered in Texas, so I'm also fully remote. I've been working with Workfront since 2011, way back when it was still at Task.
Wow, at Task days.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I've been system admin pretty much since I started. So, long time. And I am one of those big fans of Fusion and everything that you can do to make everybody's lives easier through automation.
Love that.
I can go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, I am Missy Mamross. I work for Amplify Education. It's out of Brooklyn, New York, so I'm also fully remote. I've been working in Workfront for about 3.5 years since I've been at Amplify, but I've worked in other programs before. I am an system admin, probably like the main system admin of our group of project managers. They always come to me for everything, even though I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I think I know more than the rest of them do. And then one thing I like about Workfront, I'd say similar to what someone else said, it's very customizable. But also I know that like there's so many things in there that we're not even using, that like we didn't max out like our capacity in there. Like we could be doing so many other things. So it's interesting to join all the webinars and see like what else we should be using and joining groups like this. Nice to meet everyone.
Nice to meet you. Then we have Brian. Are you the last one left?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I was wrapping up lunch there. So I'm Ryan Brockneri. I am a business and quality assurance analyst at the RAND Corporation. We've been using Workfront for about 5 or 6 years. I'd say Workfront administration is maybe just a hat that I wear. Our team supports a number of different applications, and Workfront's just one in our portfolio. And something I love about Workfront, just the ability to templatize work and kind of engage with a lot of our users and managers and even like admin assistants and a bunch of folks in between. Just learning what they do on the day-to-day, try to figure out how we can get that into a template, get them thinking about steps they do to get things on their plate and off their plate and onto someone else's plate. And yeah, we have about 100 users. Where we started with 100 users over the past year. We've upped it to about 200 now, and we are actively looking for more folks that want to track their work in systems and not in spreadsheets. So that's always a moving target on our
Challenge.
side. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for going through that. We have a really nice, well-rounded group, I feel like, with a lot of different background and, time in the system and all that, which is going to make for a really nice environment. So, and it's funny you say the spreadsheet thing. I feel like that happens so often. You're just like, how many people are still in Excel tracking things, which I love Excel. So no shade to Excel, but Ashley probably laughs at me because I keep like all my random notes and drawings and whatnot in Excel, but I'm just visual. But yeah, it's wild how much Workfront can do. It's such a huge range. So, and that's why having this conversation is really good because, like I said, we're going to send out a survey that is going to help us get a better background. Because I know it's hard to go through think of everything you want to know or talk about or whatnot in a short meeting time. So, also, just apologies for being the worst at running these presentation systems, because I'm pretty sure I could have like featured people or something, so you were all in a tiny box. But you know, maybe some people like that. I'm never a fan of my face being huge on the screen, but especially with our big TVs, Heather knows it's like if you're talking, everybody can see every little bit of your face. But promise we'll get better at that. But yeah, I'm gonna send a survey out. Or Julie, is that something? I can't remember. We'll figure out logistics. I didn't know if I needed to send that through you to blast it or send it to the group. But I have a survey built in that's just like our inaugural meeting survey. It's going to be really short. It just asks for, again, your name and company. It doesn't ask for your contact info. Again, that's up to everyone whether they want to contact each other outside of here, but I'm not asking for that. Just for you to remind us what level of experience you have in Workfront. So we're making sure we're taking care of everybody and knowing to hit all the different levels of experience. But one thing we're going to ask is, you know, we'll always have virtual options, but we would obviously love to do an in-person event. And because, you know, people are remote and working in different areas, and we know how Pittsburgh area is, like it's pretty spread out. I'm going to ask for everyone to just give a quick, like, I would be willing to travel here, or I am in this area and I would be willing to travel like X amount. We just want to get an idea of like, for when we schedule the in-person event, where would be a good place to make it as convenient as possible for everyone. And then we're also going to ask like what time of day you would find best for an in-person event. We want to try to make sure nobody's driving through town during rush hour, or, you know, if people do want to network afterwards, maybe people are more into the late afternoon. But that's something we want to get a survey on. And then the rest of it gets into, what do you want this group to be? Because we're here for each other, all of us. We want to connect all of us with resources, share what we know, just help work through things. This group can be whatever we want to make it. So there's questions around what topics or areas of Workfront do you want to explore more through this user group? Do you have any best practice use cases that you think might be a big help to everyone? We all know that Workfront can lead to the strangest, most interesting solutions for things. And before you know it, you're like, how did this system end up doing this? But it's so cool. So we love if you get passionate about things and want to share that with people. So that's something on the survey. Do you have any system challenges that could benefit from like a group review and idea sharing kind of setting? You know, there's a lot that comes up that might be either troubleshooting, or it might be kind of a mixture of like process and the tools. So things like that, and you might have a problem that a lot of other people are seeing. So we have a lot of knowledge here in this group. So it'd be great to share that. Another thing is, do you have any idea exchange links that you'd maybe like to share with the group and get some traction on? Maybe something that you created or voted on, just because we know like getting that visibility is important. And if we all hear what, you know, is an important idea for you, it might be something that we're like, we need to have that also. And then there's an additional comments section. Tell us anything you want. Like, I would love to do XYZ, or I would love to hear from a particular presenter on this topic. Or I would like to be able to connect and have conversations more. Like right now we have this set up for a quarterly cadence, but again, you can let us know anything that you think could be added, changed, anything throughout the year. Very open communication. And I personally don't mind if anyone contacts me outside of the group, but I feel like I just want it to be very open door for us, making sure that you have the best experience this whole year. So, but that survey will be sent out, and if you could fill it out, that'll really help us with insights on making this really good for all of us. So now that I've talked like way more than I needed to talk this whole time, Heather, what else do you want to add here?
I was just thinking as you were talking, do we want to maybe try to save like maybe the last 20, 15 minutes of each meeting for the type of, like if you need help troubleshooting something, you're probably not going to know far enough advance to save that
Right.
a quarterly
good-
meeting. But if you had something at that time while we're meeting, if somebody had maybe save some time each meeting for that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that. And same, like we've scheduled these for 45 minutes, but this is again group driven. So let us know if, you know, as we get into things, you're like, I think we need a little bit more time, or like, obviously we don't want to take a big chunk out of everyone's day. It's, we all, you know, have our jobs, but we also want to make sure that it's not too short and that you're not getting value out of it. So, but I think that's a great idea. Even with the 45, if we have 30 dedicated to like topics and whatnot, then the rest
Even
is
if we
kind
save
of
a few minutes for people to spitball what their problem is.
Yes.
And then if somebody comes up with an idea the next day that might solve it, they could reply and
yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Well, speaking of that, we do have just a few minutes left. Is there anything anybody wants to bring up right now? Whatever's on your mind.
I think we had one more slide. Oh, just Adobe was encouraging customers to review these couple products and provide feedback.
You get surveys from us and you get surveys from Adobe. Surveys for everybody. Goes back to that scorecarding stuff, huh, Emily? It's nice. We love to have data.
And that was it. That was all I had. I can.
Yeah, anyone have any initial thoughts? This is very open, safe space. Don't feel like you're going to say anything silly. I will say something silly, so trust me.
Has anybody started using the business rules that are now available?
Nope.
They're pretty slick, but they're pretty restrictive too. We have two types of projects where we only allow people to have them either in planning or closed. So we wrote a business rule that if they try to change them to any other status, a message pops up.
Nice.
Do that. But the business rule triggers on an edit to a project. So unless you're really getting complicated if statements, you can't add another rule that triggers on an edit made to a project. So we need to think that through a little, because we were trying to get rid of a scenario, but we might need it if we need that business rule for something else. We also don't
This
let
is a good
people.
example, Heather. Like,
Yeah.
we could listen to what you're saying and be like, oh, I have an idea now about what we want to do, even if it's like not a lot of time that we take.
Yeah, we don't let people delete a billing record if that billing record has a particular field filled in, which indicates it's gone to NetSuite, which is our financial system. Once it goes there, you can't delete it anymore. So that was a super simple business rule to create that just tells them a message. This has already been logged in NetSuite. You can't delete it.
That's awesome. I feel like we're going to need to do that a lot in the future. So, but that's a prime example. That's something that we knew existed and then just like have put it on the side for a while. But in these meetings, if we bring things up, it triggers that like, oh, I need to give myself a ticket to like look back into this and how it applies. So that's awesome. Does anybody else have anything? All right. Well, we'll send that survey out.
I had a question.
Yeah.
This may be a frowned upon, and you can say that, but what if we have open positions in our company?
Julie, what's the rules? Because I think that's awesome if people want to share open positions.
I think that's fine. I'm pretty sure people post stuff on Experience League about that.
I posted one the other day.
Oh yeah.
We're hiring
Heather, yeah, you're the recent example.
I spammed that everywhere I could.
Yeah.
The Slack channels, Experience League, everywhere. Yeah.
I think that's fine. Like in the bigger sense of things, it's all about career growth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I have two positions.
We have two, but they're just contract.
Yeah, I guess that also like brings up a forum of if we need to communicate about stuff like that. Like obviously open positions, you probably don't want to wait too long because you need help. So I don't know if there is appetite in this group for us to have like a more open line of communication or
Chat somewhere.
I'll add that to the survey before we send it out, if that would help. If anyone would want to have somewhere we can all chat, or Heather, were you thinking here?
Is there
Julie?
any chat feature in like where you join the group?
Not that Adobe's enabled, but we do have like a Tiger team looking at this because we hear this request a lot. Like, how do we keep the conversation going, especially if a chapter is only having one meeting a quarter? And you guys can have more if you want, but I'm not. That's up to you too. So what I just recommend, like as an interim possibility, is like on Experience League in the Workfront community discussions, you could you, Heather, and Brittany, one of you could post, hey, we had our kickoff meeting today. We're going to use this particular post for any follow-up discussion amongst the members and attendees. And people could just, dialogue there, and maybe you do that after every meeting, or even before a meeting, you can get it going like the morning of, and then send everybody the link in the chat of the meeting so people have it handily available.
That's
and can
smart.
Just chat. I mean, it would be open and visible to everybody, but it's all about sharing.
I'm sure we're not going to be saying anything that's like super, super secret. So that's really smart. That's a good idea. And speaking of copying in the chat, I am like, this will get sent out too, but I'm going to paste, and I can put this in the thread afterwards, but I'm going to paste the survey in here. And you guys can click this survey to take the one that I was just talking about. So, but I'll also paste that after we start this thread. And then, we can talk on there. And then if you have job postings, anything more urgent, drop it in the chat. And then we can all talk and keep that conversation going. And same with us, like no pressure to have X amount of number of meetings, but if we really start getting into things and everybody's really into it, like we can always revisit that. So just cognizant of everyone's time also. But any last questions before we sign off here?
Can I just reiterate one thing about if you haven't joined this Pittsburgh chapter?
Yes.
Do so, because you won't receive the automated email when the next event is set up. You have to be a member. You can't just have a Bevy account. You also have to be a chapter member. That's a little duplicative, sorry. And then if you know other Workfronters in the Pittsburgh area, share the chapter link with them and get them to join, because the more the merrier, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Can you share the chapter link again? I want to make sure that I can't remember if I did or not.
I'm trying to find it right now, and I swear it's like the minute I have to find anything, I go crazy in Bevy.
Would we have had to do that to get into this? Like, is that part of it?
I don't know if it made people sign up because I was ahead of time. Were you already signed up?
I don't actually. I want to check myself too, because remember I said I didn't actually get an invite. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that means that I didn't sign up, so I need to check. I signed up that I tried.
Copy.
I signed up
That's
for
just the
something.
event.
I signed up for something.
I think this link. Hold on.
The chapter link's now in the chat. And, there's navigation at the top. Like if you click on the Adobe logo, you go to the main page for the Workfront user groups. But at the top, you could click on chapters and events. But if you click on the Pittsburgh chapter, you'll see the events there on that page that are scheduled.
And if we can see them, that means we are signed up?
No, you'll have to RSVP for every event. Yeah.
But for the chapter itself, right underneath where it says WUG-Pittsburgh, I have a leave button. If you haven't joined, you might have a join button. I forget exactly what it says.
Yeah, that's what mine
right,
says. It says join, so I must not have officially joined.
Yeah, I just dropped my email in the chat too. I have no problem at any time if anyone needs help with something. I might have to go to Julie if I get confused, but I feel like I usually can figure them out when I have a second. So, or if you guys just have feedback or, one-off thoughts, you can email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. It is my work email. Same with Heather. You guys know how it gets in this world of Workfront. It's pretty chaotic a lot of the time. So, but we're happy to help and get back to you anytime. And,
Definitely.
open door. But all right, guys, we're a minute after 1:45, so we're gonna close the meeting. But the survey, please fill it out. I'll start a thread for us and post it in there also, and then we can start planning an in-person event, and we'll set up the meeting cadence as we go along. So,
will the survey go to just people who have attended this meeting, or will it go to all members of the chapter?
can we tag? Because we can't tag people on the thread, right?
It will probably go to attendees since you're surveying their experience with the event.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. If we have new people join too. What'd you say, Heather? Sorry.
I was just curious. Couldn't remember.
If anyone wants to know why Eric Millard posted a pickle emoji in a chat, that is a joke from the cafeteria at Dick's Sporting Goods the one time. So we used to work together, but he's hilarious. We're gonna have fun too. We don't have to take this crazy serious. But all right, guys, thank you so much for coming today, and looking forward to getting this going and talking to you all throughout the year. And we're here if you need anything.
Good job.
And thank you so much, Julie, for guiding this and all the help.
Yes, and I probably won't join every event, so you'll be on your own.
I totally understand
and
that.
I won't be here as no Adobe person, so you can talk freely. Anyway, it's a great chapter.
Thanks.
Have
All right,
fun, you
thanks
guys.
all. Have a good night.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.